We've already talked about all the big sequels coming this winter, but now it's time for the fresh stuff. Winter 2026 is bringing a fresh wave of new anime, from dark psychological thrillers to cozy fantasy adventures and a few completely unexpected surprises. This season has a little bit of everything. So today we're diving into the top 10 new anime you should be watching this winter 2026. If you're looking for something new to add to your watch list, these picks are definitely worth keeping an eye on. Starting off with the weirdest comedy of the year, Gōmon Baito-kun no Nichijō. In this world, torture isn't a crime, it's just a 9-to-5 job. Zero works part-time at a torture company, but instead of blood and screams, his co-workers act like cheerful office staff planning a lunch break. His seniors are legendary torturers who are more concerned with office paperwork and which torture device to buy on sale. The anime takes this dark premise and turns it into absurd, surprisingly wholesome workplace comedy. Their dynamic is closer to casual water cooler gossip than anything sinister, making it a chaotic, hilarious, and utterly unique laugh you'll get this season. Shifting gears completely now, you won't be laughing at the tone of our next pick. Scum of the Brave. In this brutal world, heroes aren't noble, they're drug-enhanced bounty hunters fighting demon lords for a paycheck. Yashiro, known as the Shinigami, just wants a quiet life, until Aki, a determined high school girl, drags herself into his world. Their uneasy partnership pulls him deeper into Tokyo's criminal underworld, where danger and moral ambiguity are everywhere. This series blends grounded, visceral action with dark humor and surprisingly intense character moments. Every fight feels raw, high stakes, and drenched in moral ambiguity. If you want a thriller with genuine grit and a broken protagonist, this is your pick. A gentle noble's vacation recommendation. Imagine getting isekai'd, and instead of panicking, you just treat it like a sightseeing trip to the Bahamas. That's Lizelle. He is totally unfazed by this new world, hiring Gil, a stoic adventurer, to be his personal guide through guilds, cities, and magical lands. What makes this stand out is Lizelle's high-class composure. No matter what chaos is breaking loose, he stays composed, treating every deadly challenge like a minor tourist inconvenience. They turn every quest into an easygoing journey rather than a dangerous challenge. The whole experience feels warm, cozy, and perfect for anyone who loved campfire cooking or farming life in another world. But in this next world, being a hero isn't a vacation, it's a death sentence. Sentenced to be a hero. In this world, the worst criminals are sentenced to fight monsters endlessly, resurrecting every time they fall, trapped in a cycle they can't escape. Xylo Forbarts, once a respected knight, was convicted of killing a goddess and now leads one of these penal hero units. The world building emphasizes the sheer hopelessness of the system, forcing the criminals to endure eternal torment. Everything shifts when he forges a pact with Tiarita, a young goddess who refuses to accept this system of punishment. Their dangerous alliance becomes the spark that threatens to break the entire cycle. Fans of Mushoku Tensei who crave that mature, unforgiving high-stakes fantasy will find this impossible to put down. Let's trade the brutal battlefields for the elegant, dramatic halls of 1900s London. Love Through a Prism. Set in early 1900s London, this is a visually stunning historical romance from Wit Studio. It follows Lily, a Japanese exchange student with 6 months to rise to the top of her prestigious art academy. Her rivalry with Kit, an aristocratic prodigy, is the driving force. It's a compelling culture clash between Lily's Japanese sensibilities and Kit's aristocratic English pride, fueling tension, ambition, and a slowly blossoming affection. Wit Studio brings every scene to life with stunning visuals and vintage European vibes. If you love elegant drama with real emotional weight and breathtaking art, this is a must-watch. Moving from oil paint and elegance to chrome and cybernetics, our next show is a legend making a massive comeback. The Ghost in the Shell 2026 series. The iconic Ghost in the Shell is making a massive return, but not as a sequel. This is a brand new TV adaptation faithfully bringing Masamune Shirow's original cyberpunk manga to life for the first time. Science Seru updates the visuals but keeps the grounded philosophical core intact. Major Motoko Kusanagi and Section 9 face cyber-terrorists in a world where the line between minds, machines, and identity has entirely blurred. This series promises sharp action, deep themes about humanity, and incredibly high-tech world-building. If you've been waiting for Ghost in the Shell to return to the thematic depth and visual mastery of the 1995 film, this is the definitive version. We've seen sharp action, but our next battle is purely intellectual, fought over a glass of wine. The Drops of God. This show is incredible. When a wealthy wine critic dies, he leaves introduce his priceless collection to whoever wins a tasting competition, his estranged son Shizuku or his adopted prodigy Issei. What begins as a tasting competition quickly turns into a personal confrontation with the past, pushing Shizuku to face old wounds and the legacy he once abandoned. This series stands out with its refined storytelling, rich atmosphere, and grounded emotional drama. If you enjoyed Food Wars, this anime will hit the same satisfying notes, rich sensory moments, and intense competition. It delivers that same immersive feeling, but with a more mature, grounded vibe. From wine and legacy to ghosts and court conspiracy, the stakes keep climbing with our number 3 pick, the Holy Grail of Eris. What if your partner in crime was a ghost? That's exactly what happens to Connie Grail, a kind-hearted noble girl who is falsely accused and betrayed. She is saved and possessed by the spirit of Scarlet Castile, a legendary villainess executed 10 years earlier for a crime she didn't commit. Scarlet strikes a deal, help her uncover the truth behind her downfall, and Connie survives the viper pit of court intrigue. Their contrasting personalities, Connie's gentle integrity versus Scarlet's bold, cunning experience, create tension, humor, and endless twists as they navigate hidden conspiracies and shifting loyalties. If you love the court intrigue and clever storytelling of the Apothecary Diaries, this is an absolute must-watch. Now, for the sweetest, most wholesome show of the season, You and I are polar opposites. What happens when two people who couldn't be more different slowly start to understand each other? Their awkward moments turn gentle, and something unexpectedly real begins to grow. Miyu is the bright, cheerful gal who is always the center of attention. Yusuke is the quiet, blunt guy who's almost impossible to read. At first, their personalities clash, but their small, persistent interactions slowly grow into something genuine and adorable. This romance captures all the insecurities and quiet magic of first love done right. If you want something wholesome, grounded, and effortlessly rewatchable, this is the top new romance of winter 2026. And finally, our number 1 pick, Darwin Jihen, The Darwin Incident. Meet Charlie, a human Z, born half human and half chimpanzee, stepping into high school for the very first time. All he wants is a quiet life, but the moment he arrives, fear, fascination, and controversy follow him everywhere. The story explodes when the extremist group that created him resurfaces, determined to turn him into their symbol and weapon. Suddenly, Charlie is caught between deep-seated prejudice, radical ideologies, and intense public scrutiny. This anime tackles identity, discrimination, morality, and the collision between science and society with raw honesty. It forces viewers to confront the question, what does it actually mean to be human? It carries the same heavy, emotional atmosphere and thematic weight as Attack on Titan or 86. It is bold, controversial, and it is our definitive new anime of the season. And that wraps up the top 10 new anime of winter 2026. A couple of these might end up surprising everyone this season, so don't forget to add them to your watch list. Let me know in the comments which new anime grabbed your attention the most this winter. And if you missed my video on the top 10 returning anime of winter 2026, be sure to check that out next. It pairs perfectly with this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.